those three things right now. So, this is what you're doing right now. The effort paradigm is showing you that you're trading more hours for output. You are adding physical effort to solve friction. You are hitting a hard ceiling of 24 hours, which is what everybody has. And the result is that you're exhausted. Whereas the growth paradigm shift, that's for the leverage paradigm, is that you're going to be multiplying the value of each hour. You're going to be building systems to remove friction. And you're going to be expanding capacity without adding time. So your result will definitely be sustainable growth. So let's look at the first solution. It's called skill stacking. This basically means combine the skills you already have so that every hour you work produces more value. There are skills you already have. I was talking with a senior colleague a few nights ago, and we're discussing some of our finances. And I told him, I say, sir, you have certain skills that is very unique. This person was a marketer at one of the very big multinationals, oil marketing companies, for many years. So I widely traveled. He's driven, he's self-motivated, he's a go-getter. Being a marketer, of course, there are always targets, and I was meeting them back to back. But funny enough, he had a background in engineering. I think even in road construction or something. So eventually he crossed over in the same company into engineering. Most people did not understand. They felt that, he's not been an engineer for many years. Guess what? His way of executing projects was totally different. It was into maintenance. And he understood how to negotiate with people and get them to do things. He's in a new company now, and he's still achieving various things based on the ability to market, to negotiate, and also it would help, retain quality and value because of his ability as an engineer. So I was sharing with him, says, you have 2 or 3 unique skills that most people don't have. That's just the example. If you want to get more value, work in every hour. You got to stack your skills. Combine the skills you already have. So every hour work produces more value. Because you see, the rarest, best paid professionals are almost never the single best in the world at one thing. The rarest, best paid professionals are usually not the single best person ever in just one thing. They are not the best in the world in one thing. See, what they do is that they combine 2 or 3 skills that few other people bother to pair. And it doesn't mean that people don't have the skills, they just don't bother to pair it. So for example, when you meet an architect who's also very good in finance, there's something that's called cost engineering. I was in a seminar recently and someone was talking about that. He's an architect and was talking about how your project can be born and you can convince investors based on your ability to run the figures. Not every architect can run the figures, but he could run the figures. So he would combine his accounting skills and then say, look, this is how this project, it's 5 billion naira, but it's going to yield you 2 billion in 2 years. That's what the investor wants to hear. So an architect with a finance background, a builder, project manager, a builder, a project manager, or a builder who also understands maybe finishes, or somebody who is combining, what will I say, something like administration, and you're combining that with your ability to run in maybe some other part of finance or some part of operations, marketing, HR, and you'll be unique because of the way you'll be able to combine and talk with people and, scale those fences and, open the doors for such an establishment that you work for. That is where the unfair advantage is. So, number 1 is to learn to stack your skills. What skill do you have that you need to stack? You see, you don't have to be the fastest runner in your old school. You know that? If you're a pretty good runner and pretty good at drawing and good at speaking in front of people, you might be the only person who is all three. So even though you're not the fastest runner, But you're a fast runner. You're not just the fastest in the school, you're just pretty good. And you're good at drawing. You're good at speaking in front of people. All right, that mix belongs to you alone. And that's probably why the school will celebrate you and give you the best award. Just for you to. If you want to champion your dream, you want to meet those financial targets, you want to expand your business, you don't have to be the best at it alone. Stack your skills. In that office, stack your skills. So, let's do this now. List 3 skills you already have. List 3 skills that you already have. Now ask yourself, where do 2 of them overlap? If you list 3 skills you already have, ask yourself, where do 2 of these skills overlap? And in between that will be your unfair advantage. In between where they overlap, 2, 3 of your skills where they overlap will be your unfair advantage. Find that unfair advantage right now or after the webinar. Now, just in case you didn't know, most people go their whole career without ever naming what you're about to name. So name it and let's get it. Number 2 is delegation and systems. Stop doing the work that doesn't need you to do. Why? So that you can do the work only you can do. A lot of times we are doing what everybody, I do it too, yeah, do it too. But once you stop doing that, guess what? Discover you're spending the best of times on what's the best of results. So if someone else can do a particular task or job 80% as good as you can, that job isn't yours anymore. Delegate it. And this is the wrong view. Delegation, we think, is losing control. No, delegation is not losing control. It's building a system, building other people, helping them to grow while you can free yourself to do higher things. It's building a system that runs without your hands on every brick. So the trap in not delegating, right, is perfectionism. People refuse to hand things off because nobody will do it exactly as well as they would. You know, sometimes you think about it, truly, it's always a trap. You're kind of tempted to do it sometimes. When I tell people to do things 2-3 times, they don't get it right. I'll just go and do it. Now, sometimes you might need to if there's a time limit, but whenever you have the opportunity, rather you let them take their time and get it right. That way, next time they will do it well. But see, it's a wrong comparison because the right one is between 80% done by someone else and 100% done by you. That bottlenecks everything behind it. If you try to look at the difference between what somebody does 80% and you do 100%, that 20% is not enough for you to make everything to get held down because you want to achieve 100% of it. So the work done by others can also scale for you. But the work that only you can do, it doesn't scale. The work that only you can do doesn't scale. The work that others can do will scale. What do I mean by that? Let's assume I'm a barber. All right? I own a barbering shop. And let's say if I stand there, I can cut 10 people, cut their hair, 10 people a day. If I want to do perfection and I cut only 10, that's all I get, 10. But if I get 2 more barbers who are not as good as I am, they're 80% as good as I am, and they too can cut 10, guess what? We have 30 people. Those 30 people may not even know the difference between the 80% and the 100% performance. They may not know. So we would have scaled up because we're 3. I will have scaled their performances to give me 30 people every day. 30 people as a market share. Unlike I'm doing perfect hair. I'm picking every single hair, touching every single place, massaging every single part of the head, but I'll only do 10 people a day. So imagine scaling in 3 versus trying to do 100% perfection all by yourself. So if someone else can do it 30% as well as you can, don't do that job again, delegate it. So imagine you're a captain of a football team, for example. I want to carry everybody's bag every time. I want to carry everybody's bag, everybody. Football team, maybe like 24 people. They're carrying their bag. How many can you carry? If you're carrying their bag all the time, you can't even lead anymore. You can't do the job of a captain really. You're busy carrying bags up and down. So what do? Hand the bags over to everybody to carry one bag each, right? And lead as a captain, walk ahead of them. When you need to walk behind them, when you need to go to the left or the right, overlook things, get them water, get them food, talk to the coach. Do the job of a captain. Don't carry bags. Carrying bags doesn't scale the team's effort and ability to win. So let someone else carry bags. All right? That's just an analogy. In your team, you're the captain, delegate, and build systems. And this just shows you the audit for delegation. List what you did this week. Right? List all the things you did this week, like this last week. And then as you do them for this coming week, start dropping some things out. Okay? Start dropping out some things. The work that only you can do, put them aside. That's work that fundamentally relies on your unique skill stack. If you are the best, you are the best person at it. Nobody can do better than you. Put that on the side. Any work that you can train someone else to do it 80% as well as you can, what you do is to systemize and hand off that to the person. Then any low value friction that doesn't drive growth, anything that doesn't drive growth, maybe like sometimes you have a business where people are coming to buy stuff. Maybe you have a shop. Imagine you stay at the door all day. How does that help your business? Maybe you go there once in a while, just welcome a customer or something. Look outside and see what's going on. But you don't stay there all day. Say, wow, I want to welcome a customer. I've got that know how to kneel down. I can prostrate. How does that make them buy? But when they come and negotiate, and you're the one negotiating and telling them the idea of the materials or the services you're providing, the products you're providing, oh, that's what turns. When you sell, it's the sales that turns figures. So any low value friction thing that doesn't drive growth, drop them. And that you can apply that to every area of your life. Every area of your life. Okay. Number 3 thing, the three lever that we can use is to focus leverage. Remember we said, how do you now? The third one is to derive more value from the hours that you're doing. All right? So, there's a claim that output comes from protected hours, not more hours. If you keep on adding hours, doesn't mean you're going to get better output. Output actually comes from protected hours, not more hours. The silent killer of capacity is fragmented attention. A lot of us have serious capacity. We can do so much, but our attention is fragmented. Either we're looking at new business ideas every day, we start something, we stop, and we start another new thing, we stop, start another new thing, we don't see them through. Even in the day, you're having phone calls coming in, we're supposed to be strategizing, you're having people disturbing you all the time. You don't control it. That is not what you need to do. Get your best hours, let your output compound instead of scattering. Your fundamental output comes from protected hours, not more hours, okay? So all these side calls, messages, checking social media, you got to let them go and focus. So defend the block. As you have applied those 3 leverages, all right? What to do is to defend the block. Block 1 90-minute deep focus session this week. 90 minutes, that's 1.5 hours. Block 1, deep focus session this week. No phone calls, no side calls, no business calls, no social media scrolling. Defend it like your most important client meeting because it's for your growth anyway. So whatever area of your life you're struggling with, where you're thinking you've stalled, sit down, create 1.5 hours of focus time and begin to ask relevant questions to find out what are the blockages and how do you unblock them? How do you get unstuck? Now, these are the 3 levers work. The 3 levers, there's one engine. When you pull all 3 together, your output expands. What are those? At the points of those triangles? The skill stacking, that's the first lever. Delegation is the second lever. Focus leverage is your third lever. That is more value per work, less low value work, and deeper compounding hours. That's what they mean. Skill stacking helps you to get more value. Delegation gives you less low value work. You remove those ones that are less of low value. And then you focus leverage helps you to go deeper and compound your hours. At the center of that all is your capacity. And once you can move them together, your capacity increases. So when skill stacking raises how much each hour is worth, delegation would clear the low value hours out of your week, and then focus leverage will deepen the hours that remain. So you pull at the three, every other thing begins to fall in place. You don't need to do any single extra hour, or you begin to have more results. So if you can find your weakest lever and correct that, you can find your fastest growth. Okay? If you can find your weakest lever, correct it, you will find your fastest growth. Now, find your number one leverage lever. Don't pour energy into your strongest lever because that's already strong. Just find the weakest one. How do you do that? Of the three levers that we talked about, which is the weakest for you right now? You can name it in the chat if you want. You can go to chat box and tell me. Do you think it's skill stacking? That is, you have skills that are not combining. You don't stack your skills. You're only moving with only one skill. Tell me in the chat box if you can. If your problem is delegation, challenge is delegation. You find that you're always hands on everything. You don't want to give anybody any work to do for you. Or maybe the focus leverage is your problem. You can't focus enough on a task. Tell me in the chat box and let's look at it. Now, we're rounding up. Knowing the levers today as you're known is not the same as installing them. So what we've done is to show you the map. All right? But for these things, they sound sometimes so simple and so awkward that people don't even carry them out. So for most times for things like this, you need someone to join you, hold you accountable, help you look at how this pertains to your particular lifestyle, your particular area of life, and area of struggle. All right? Because of some people, it's not in business, they're doing any business. Why? They're just struggling in family. Some people are struggling in finances. Some people are struggling in growing a small business. Some people are struggling in scaling a small business. Some people are struggling in careers, in corporate careers and all that. But you see, those who actually change are the ones who don't do it alone. So for you to install this structure, with accountability and feedback, you need help. And when you're ready to install it, for real, two things you have to do. One, the one-page worksheet that I said, the link is in the chat box. Get it. And then you can make a clarity call with me. The complimentary 20-minute conversation. I'm not pitching you anything, just clarity on how to grow your practice, your business, to grow that area of your life you think you've stalled on without you burning out. So that at the end of this coming week and month, before we meet in August, I want your testimony to be that you are handling more, yet you are coping better. That's what we want you to come up with. The ceiling is a lie because there's no ceiling. You're only running out of leverage. Your effort is not achieving anymore, not because the effort is not there, but because you ran out of leverage. Leverage is the reason why effort makes results to become. The leverage is the reason why you've been winning all these days. Leverage is the reason why you've been growing in your profession, why you've been growing in your career. Is the leverage you've been having. But now that you are running out of leverage, that's why it looks as if effort is the only that remains. I want to encourage you that you're not the only one going through it. People that are naturally like builders, people that naturally want to build things, they usually meet up with this when they've run out of time, which was what they were using initially to get results. You're not also the only one going through it all through the world, because 75% of workers worldwide are talking about burnout. 45% of middle managers are burned out regularly. And 65%, always jump up whenever they mention burnout year over year. Every year, 65% of people that you meet will tell you they are burned out, either from home or from business or from church or from the mosque, whatever it is, the institutions that they attend and they handle. But we said leverage is the difference between opening the door from an inch and opening it from where the latch is. Think about this as a simple form of illustration. And then we talked about what you need to show and what you need to grow, what you need to change. When your effort paradigm is showing you that trading more hours for output is what you want to do, you want to change that paradigm to leverage paradigm, where you're not trading more hours, but you're multiplying the value of each hour. You're not adding physical effort, but you're building systems to remove friction. You're not eating a hard ceiling, but you're expanding capacity without adding more time. So your result will not be exhaustion, but result of sustainable growth. I'm talking about skill stacking. How you can combine 2-3 of your skills, find where their meeting point is, and you get the unfair advantage to make you the best of all round things around your leverage, around your career, around all the things that pertains to your dream and desire. And we said, how do you do that? These 3 skills, find out where 2 of them overlap, name it as your unfair advantage. We also said the second level, talk about delegation and systems. If you can understand delegation and systems, stop doing things that anybody can help you to do 80% well. Leave that for them to do. Train people to do it, and then move to the things that only you can do with your set skill. Then, how do you do that? Audit your delegation. Find out what only you can do. Find out what you can train people to do, and find out what you need to drop right away. Third leverage, talk about focus, leverage. That is, you don't let distractions shatter your glass, shatter your leverage, but make it to be solid like a bar of gold, where for 90 minutes every day, you push out the best of the work you can without distractions. Handling the most important thing in your business, in your home, in your life, in your time, and in everything you're about to do. Give it that 90 minutes, block out that time, defend it as if it all matters, because it really does. And how do you increase the capacity? Use these 3 levers, pull them fully. Find out which one is the weakest, pull it stronger, and then your capacity automatically reveals. And you have to find out the weakest leverage, the weakest leak that is leaking your leverage. Find out what it is. Is it skill stacking? Is delegation on the focus leverage? You can find it using the tool, the worksheet I gave you. You can find it from there. And that helps you. If you want to apply this, you can get a free 20-minute community call with me. Just go to the chat box, send me your WhatsApp number, and after the program, I'll reach out to you. And that is where we'll round it up for today. We're starting some masterclass very soon. If you know someone who is young or who wants to start building filling stations, we're going to have a masterclass for that, especially anybody that you know who wants to start building filling stations, or a masterclass for that. If you have someone who is an undergraduate in the university, master's, BSc, who is into built environment, architecture, civil, electrical, mechanical, structural, there's a free hub we're starting up very soon for them, just to help them while in school, and also how to navigate life after school. We're going to keep the link out here. I'll talk about it. This webinar is free. For the next few months, we're going to do it every month. But very soon, we're going to expand it a bit. I'm going to be doing it maybe once in 2 months, because we want to free time to help those that are really in need of it. So I say a big thank you to everyone. Thanks for the team backing me up. Thanks for everybody attending. And on that note, I will see you next time. That's next month, same time. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye for now.